All right, everyone. How is it going? It is a Monday night. It is a draft night. It is a dark side fantasy draft. We had so much fun with our Jedi draft. We decided to flip a 180. Tonight, we got the whole crew here. We got a little bit of news to tell you all about. But most importantly, we're going to see who gets stuck with Pong Krell. Wes, punch it! Welcome into the Living Force, a Utini Network podcast production. I'm one of your hosts, Eric Eilerson, and joining me tonight is the full complement of hosts to decide who can make the most disgusting, despicable, dark side draft class. First, we have Dr. Corey Helton. Hey, buddy.
I don't want Pong. Listen, Porg.
What drink is that there, bud?
What is in this? I don't want Pong. Don't give me that shit. I got stuck with Windu last time. I don't want that.
Well, don't pick him, and you won't get him.
I won't, but you're gonna give him to me anyway. I'm not going last. I gotta pull that thing up, by the way.
We'll see how this works. Well, while Corey decides to do more show prep, let's talk to Dr. Charles Hankel. Hey, man.
Yes, guys, the goal is to give Corey Pong Krell tonight. That is absolutely
Go to hell. Oh my god.
Can we do like pick trading, like the NFL draft? You're like, all right, Eric's trading up.
No,
just to kind of screw
not
Corey.
allowed.
All right, fine. Well, what is allowed is the glorious luminescent presence to wipe out the darkness that is Wes Jenkins.
Hello. I'd vote that we should have the audience pick who goes first and who goes last, and they should pick me first, just like last time.
No. No.
No.
We choose Corey as the Senate. Is he one of the options?
Well, we'll find out. We are very excited to obviously get to the draft. This is our second draft episode. If y'all like it in the chat and when you're listening, let us know on Twitter and Discord in the comments, and we'll do more. That's really it. You tell us to do things, we will do them. We're pretty simple in that way. Because we want to start out, though, with a little bit of congratulations to our community, because like a half hour before this episode, y'all, we hit officially 1,000 members in the UTN Discord. 1,000. 1K.
Awesome.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, excitement.
We did it.
Joy.
A whole 1,000.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome, because the Discord has been, I think, one of the greatest things about our community the last year. And just the fact that there are 1,000 people that have clicked through join, yes, and have muted all the channels they don't want to listen to.
Yeah.
It's just really cool. So to all y'all in the Discord, we love
So
you.
many channels.
Thank you. So many channels. We hope that you're in there. And if you're watching or listening and you're not in the Discord, head over to utini.com/Discord. If you're unfamiliar, it's basically just an online chat community. We have channels for the different Star Wars shows you want to talk about, different shows that we produce you can talk about, or anything and everything. Send us pictures of your cute pets. That has a channel, believe it or not. So thank you all for being a part of the community. We love you very much. Also, another quick thank you to our patrons who continue to be the amazing backbone of our little system here. Our watch party event last week, I got to say again, was so much fun. 2 weeks ago now. I don't know. It seems like it was always. We love doing these events. And speaking of those events, we did say recently that we were close to our next Patreon goal. And we have decided pretty officially, verbally before the show started, that our next goal is going to be a drunk trivia night featuring the four of us.
God.
And so rules to come, but just so you know, I believe we're still about $10 away. That once we hit that, the four of us will find a night for our patrons to come hang out and watch us imbibe some bevs, do some trivia, and get a little silly, because it's just a blast. And our patrons like us. Yes, rules to come.
What does that mean? Rules to come.
We'll look up as many rules as we can, and then we'll add more as we get more drunk to make us drink more, and it'll be a horrible cycle.
I like adding rules. I like that rule.
That's what it'll be.
Rules.
Take a drink every time Wes makes a stupid ass question. All right, there we go.
Oh no, God! 1 hour in, we'd fall down. But I'm very excited for that. Head over to utini.com/Patreon or patreon.com/utini if you want to join in the fun. In addition to seeing our events, you also get access to all the extra content we put out, all the shows that we put out, like Ghost Crew and Cafes, Star Wars Archives when they come out instead of a time release. So go check that out. Someone who checked that out recently is our patron of the week, Jordan Smith, our very own Blind Fates. Charles, you got to read this.
Yes,
Do your
I
job.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
That's how I'm going to earn my keep. All right. Jordan Smith, Blind Fate says, hello, Utini family. I'm Jordan Smith from sunny San Diego, California. You may have seen me on Discord or YouTube as Blind Fates. I've been a dedicated Star Wars fan for all my life. Being born in 1992, I was exposed to Star Wars at a very young age. In fact, one of my earliest memories is watching in horror as Han was put into the carbon freezing chamber. I actually had nightmares of Darth Vader putting my own father in carbonite. As gloomy as that sounds, my genuine fear of Darth Vader had me deeply invested in Star Wars story and its heroes from the start. And when it came to the playground, I was always Boba Fett. Who didn't like Boba Fett?
Nice.
From then on, my love of Star Wars never died. I consumed any form of media that was Star Wars except for, well, books. Fast forward to 2020, and I'm home from work with plenty of time on my hands due to COVID-19, and I made the decision to finish what I started. I would take in all canon, which pretty much just meant I was going to read all the canon books. Well, suffice to say, I had no idea how deep that rabbit hole would be. Don't even get me started on Legends yet. But I began with Dooku Jedi Lost, then Lost Stars, Ahsoka, Lords of the Sith. At this point, I stumbled on something incredible, Star Wars comics. I would then cast aside books for the time being and read every single canon comic by the end of 2020. My favorite and possibly favorite Star Wars thing ever being Dr. Aphra. But before I started down that journey, I began to fill in everything I read into what was going to be the internet's most intense and lucrative Star Wars timeline ever put into a Google Doc. However, I discovered someone beat me to it. My new dream of creating the ultimate Star Wars timeline was crushed as I realized Utini had created a timeline I couldn't possibly hope to surpass. And if you can't beat them, you join them. I listened to the podcast for quite a while, watched the YouTube videos, lurked around Discord, and eventually, probably later than I should have, decided it was time to join up with the Patreon program. Since the beginning of 2021, I've been reading books at 2 books a month pace, which is baffling to me. I never considered myself to be a reader, but listening to the roundtables and discussions on the various podcasts and Discord, Utini has pushed me along into a new passion I never imagined I would have. And now my question for the hosts. Dr. Aphra is frequently labeled as the Indiana Jones of Star Wars, and I've even heard some compare Thrawn to the likes of Sherlock Holmes. If you could bring in a new character that embodies the traits of a non-Star Wars character from pop culture, what would that embodiment be? I.e. the James Bond of Star Wars or the Jack Sparrow of Star Wars, etc. And how might that character fit into the Star Wars universe? Wow.
Dang.
So Blind Fates can't... He couldn't have been on the episode where we talked about what we haven't read because he's read it all. He's read it all in like 2 years.
That's awesome, man. And it's funny, like I wonder how many people with the last year with the extra time, whether their power went out or not, did a similar thing where they started reading. But you've been awesome, dude. You've been popping up in so many show chats and really have become a really awesome member of this community. We super appreciate your support and your story, man. That's awesome. So if we could pick another character of pop culture to bring into Star Wars. Ooh, it's a great question. Does anyone jump out to you guys immediately?
Bounty Hunter would be the John Wick of Star Wars.
Oh,
That's
yeah. You like kill his
Zero
love
regard.
cat?
Yeah, straight up zero regard for any kind of living being. Just
That'd be great.
2 blaster pistols and like a heart of gold because somebody, yeah. Oh, that's right. Somebody would have to kill his loath cat or something.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's sad, but that could be good.
Yeah.
I would like, this is a weird one. I don't know why this is in my head. I kind of want like the Lady Gaga of Star Wars. Like I want the entertainment industry.
Oh, that would
like,
be cool.
Suit?
Yeah. Like have a really
meat
off the
suit.
wall, like entertainer. Didn't we hear there was like a Jedi that left the order and became an entertainer or something in one of the High Republic books? They talked about that happening. One of the Wayseekers or something like that.
I don't remember
I think
that.
I recall that. I think I do recall that. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like the entertainment business, that'd be fun.
Interesting.
Corey Charles, what do you got?
Man.
I was like, what books do I read other than Star Wars? And it didn't work, so I went to somewhere else.
I'm blanking pretty hard. I mean, my first gut reaction before he put the examples was the James Bond, actually.
Yeah.
So like, I might just take that one, like, because literally as he was thinking, people like Sherlock Holmes, like, we've never got like a secret agent type of character, really. I don't think, right? Have we? Can you think of any?
What about that guy from The Last Jedi?
The Master Code Breaker.
The Master Code Breaker.
Oh yeah,
man.
we've not heard anything
love
about that
that
guy. I would love for that storyline to be expanded upon.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we've had like spies, like Vi is a spy, and like we've had other like spies in the rebellion, but not like the suave, like crisp suit stuff. That would be cool.
Not now, love. I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
That's
God.
what I expect out of
So
Cassian.
smooth.
Before Rogue One, he was a different man.
Ooh, I'd love that.
I'm gonna choose one of my other favorite trilogies of all time and choose Don Corleone. I know there's a lot of gangsters
that's phenomenal
in Star Wars, but I feel like, I don't know, getting to really follow like one gangster through a whole
that would be
super
super good. That would be really good.
Books
just
about
like
the gangs are always super cool too.
Yeah, totally. Like just like the whole book is like from that perspective, like you're on the gangster's side the whole time, even though he's committing all this horrible crimes and killing all these people. Like it's written in a way that he's like the obvious protagonist that makes you want to love him.
That'd be cool. Also, Jared just put in the chat, of course, there's a Legends book where Dash Rendar has to thwart an assassination attempt on a pop star. So that's at least 2 of them right there.
Is it size noodles?
It better be. Well, thank you for the question, Flying Fates. And of course, keep your eyes out if you're in our Patreon community. You may be our next patron of the week. All right, now time for our Star Wars Weekly Roundup, where we tell you what's going on in Star Wars land. Keep you up to date, literally, with our first topic. Because next year, the glorious return of Star Wars Celebration will be upon us. We missed it last year. We wanted to see everyone. But obviously, because of the pandemic, it got pushed to next fall. So we thought, however, there was an announcement this week. Star Wars Celebration Anaheim was changed to May 26th to 29th of 2022, which means a year and a week away, y'all. That is very, very soon, relatively. I mean, it's still a year, but this caused quite a stir in our Slack channel, did it not?
It did. It did cause quite a stir indeed. There was like a good number of folks who were super jacked because it was more convenient for them. Me and Charles had a pretty hardcore like sigh of, damn, we're not gonna get to go. Like May is like right in the middle of our residency stuff. Like there's no way it was going to work. And then out of nowhere, sorry, Charles, out of nowhere, I took 1 week off next year. And coincidentally, it happens to be the week that is Celebration. So there is a good
really
chance
incredible.
that is, 1 in 52 chance, right? Like, I don't know how that,
Disney plug, Corey?
I don't know how that happened, but it's a miracle. Like this year, I didn't take any weeks off, right? I only took like long weekends and stuff. So me and Caitlin made a decision to like do a beach trip or something. So obviously this will replace that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll still work out. There's still some moving parts, but I hope I get to go. Charles, on the other hand, man,
I'm a no-go.
Yeah.
I'm a no-go. So
Did you even ask yet?
No, listen, this is a long story. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
it is.
All
yeah.
right. Well,
Which sucks. It sucks. But, I'm really happy that, this works out for a lot of folks. It doesn't work out for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
That's how dates are, though, man. You can't really do much about it. And, we'll just have to catch the next one. So I'm very interested to see what this celebration will be like. This is the first one that Disney seems to have had a big influence over. Obviously, ReedPop as a company, as who runs these conventions, has not the best reputation, I feel like. Not sterling reputation. I went to Celebration Chicago and got to experience some of that sterling reputation firsthand. So we'll see. We'll see what it's like. Honestly, Charles, the next one might be the one, right? Because this is going to be the one where they're going to figure stuff out. There's not a lot of huge news coming, I guess. So I don't know.
I mean, we might get, and the reasons they could have obviously moved them are a ton. It could have been better for the venue. It could have been because of shooting schedules, because of COVID. Now, like maybe that's where we get the Kenobi series trailer for that fall. Like we'll see what we see, but overall, we will keep you all posted on what we're doing Utini-wise. For the last celebration, we applied for a panel, a podcast with the whole thing. So we're going to try to do all we can. And regardless, we'll start saying it now. If you are at Anaheim Celebration, please come up. Please say hi. Please don't come, whatever you want to do. No, never mind. Come say hi. There's a limit, I assume.
Do not pie me in the face. I will punch you in the mouth.
But before that happens, you may have noticed I have a couple books next to me here. Our friends over at Del Rey and Lucasfilm were super kind enough. A special shout out to Lissa Hurwitz. Were so kind enough to send over some advanced copies of the next wave of the High Republic books. They're on a strict embargo until May 26th. But of course, at Utini, we don't give any reviews to the day of release. But here they are. They're very cool. But this week, a lot of people got to read some of this because we got a couple excerpts. The first being an excerpt from Race to Crash Point Tower. This brought in a couple characters from the High Republic Adventures comic, as well as a test of courage. And one of the really cool things as we're looking ahead towards June and Pride Month is that they confirmed that Master Kantam Sai, who was mentioned, I believe, in the High Republic Adventures as well, is a human, non-binary Jedi. So just another kind of inclusive character, which is great. We just wanted to highlight it, and I'm glad that they're making their way into popular fiction for children. That's awesome. Very cool. This book looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So check that excerpt out on StarWars.com. The second excerpt we got was by our friends over at Gizmodo. Maybe our friends. We don't know anyone over there. But this was for The Rising Storm, Kevin Scott's adult novel. And this was all about Markian Rowe. We learn a little bit about a potential relative maybe of his in this. Again, a very cool excerpt that brings in one of the best villains in Star Wars for my money. Very excited to see him in here. Again, that's over on Gizmodo. And if you want to stay free of any excerpts, totally legit. Some people want to go in free, but if you just need that High Republic content, like so many of us, those two got released today. And more details on Del Rey's Twitter and also utini.com. Now, some of you, if you're watching the video, may notice that I am wearing a Starlight Beacon shirt. And no, this isn't something I found on Teespring or TeePublic or any of the other art things. This is from Amazon, Star Wars official High Republic merchandise, because Lissa, our friend from Disney that we mentioned earlier, posted on Twitter that there's a bunch of High Republic shirts over on Amazon. And they were miscategorized under Mandalorian stuff. But basically, if you want High Republic shirts for the books, for that universe, look at these. They're on Amazon right now. And they're freaking cool.
They're not super expensive either. They're all under $30.
Shirts.
That one's good. Nihil.
And I got the premium shirt. So it's like a little softer material. Highly recommend. Yeah, that one's coming to me. The Markian, it's awesome. And the Starlight Beacon, that's a freaking awesome design shirt.
I actually kind of like this one. Now that you mentioned it, Charles.
Yeah, it's really cool. So basically, we've been talking about wanting High Republic merch for a while officially. So we just want to let you all know, if you don't follow Lissa on Twitter or didn't see it, it is available. Easiest way is just go to, she's Hello Lissa D on Twitter. Check it out. She has a whole thread.
How did you choose the premium shirt?
It's somewhere in the options. I think if you're on the main page of Amazon and you scroll down far enough on the page, it'll show the design you chose in a tank top or a hoodie or a whatever. And one of those options is premium t-shirt. And it's an extra $3 or $4 for better material. So highly recommend. And of course, if you want to buy shirts, go to Amazon. And if you want to buy books like the ones right next to me here, and you want to help support the show and everything Utini does, look up those books on utini.com. Go to our new release schedule, or just look at the book profiles and click the affiliate links. As a reminder, you got a little while. The High Republic Rising Storm and the High Republic Race to Crash Point Tower both drop on June 29th.
Hey, if you do want to support the show by buying Amazon shirts, then click on a Utini link. And then from that link, once you're on Amazon, then buy the shirt and we'll still get the money.
Yeah.
So
if you use an affiliate link to get to the site, that's a great point. Everything you buy in that order, whether it's a book, whether it's a washing machine, whatever it is, Utini gets a cut. So
that's right.
Always helpful. Charles, we're about to go to our Dark Side draft now. But before we do, we got 2 book reviews we wanted to highlight.
That's right, we do. And I'm going to take the first one that's short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah, buddy.
It is from Chris, who is reviewing I Am a Clone Trooper, the Little Golden book. And he gave it 5 stars. That's right, the highest score that you can give a book on utini.com is what this little golden book got. And Chris says, it actually came out today. Boy, it's such a good little book. I feel guilty letting my daughter keep it. And that's it. And I got to tell you, I have not read any of the little golden books because I don't have any little ones in my life to read them to, but I've heard only good things.
Yeah. And it's great too, because I feel like a lot of us maybe grew up with those. And if we don't have kids, you forget about them. Or if you have kids now, you think those only got released when you were young. But Star Wars is continuously making new kids books, just like what we grew up with. So go check them out. And we've never highlighted like a children's book on this show like that before. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, Corey's sending messages behind the scenes that are making
Guys, there will never be a Patreon level that lets people see our Slack channels, I swear.
All right. Well, since Corey and I are laughing too much, Wes, you want to read the second review from Lando?
Absolutely. So Lando read the Darth Vader 2015 series by Kieran Gillen and various artists. And Lando gave it 3 stars. I'm currently reading through the timeline of the 2015 Star Wars Darth Vader and Aphra lines as they all intersect with each other. The Darth Vader line only ran 25 issues, so it ended first of the 3. Like Soul's Vader, the comic version of Vader is much cooler than the movie version. He's able to do feats of force ability that the movies aren't able to do. However, while the character Vader is fun to read, the circumstances he winds up in seem strange for Star Wars. The antagonist, Kylo, and his... Is it Kylo?
I think it's Silo.
Silo, okay. Silo and his creations, potential replacements for Darth Vader, all feel a little too unbelievable in the Star Wars universe. To me, at least. It felt a little too science fiction. The series introduces Dr. Aphra, who has become a popular comics character since. I'm excited to get into her line and find more about her and her 2 murderous droids. Overall, the 2015 Darth Vader has moments of greatness and moments of mediocrity. It's a step down from Soul's Darth Vader, but it introduces a new character that has exploded into popularity, so it will at least be memorable for starting Aphra's journey. Definitely the Dr. Aphra audiobook that kind of encompasses a lot of those comic moments. Brings me into that part what he was talking about her, the 2 murderous droids. But I've never read the Vader series.
Yeah, I read it when it was coming out, and yeah, it wasn't I liked it a lot, but it's interesting going from the Soul, which is like peak amazing comic books, backwards, right? And one of the reasons, admittedly, I wanted to read this review on the show today was to show, if you're watching the video right now, what our series look like on utini.com. We have this new feature. New-ish, I guess we've had it for a while, but we haven't really talked a ton about it, where all these giant series have full series pages. So if you're reading comics or wanting to get into comics, thanks to our friends on the Cosmic Force, which are Wednesday nights on YouTube Live, head over here and check out some of these giant series pages where the whole run is rated, maybe. And if you want to help people out like Lando did, and you've read a lot of these larger runs, these whole series, check out the series pages and leave some reviews, because it's kind of a unique way as opposed to going issue by issue or even trade by trade.
It's also a good way to check out if you're curious and like how you can purchase or read the comics, because these series pages like break down how the comics are sorted, right? So there's all the single issues, and these expand, so you can see all the individual single issues. It has the trade paperbacks if you want to read them by trade paperbacks. Like this one will contain the first 5 or so comics, and this one contains the next 5 or so comics. Then also there are hardcover omnibuses. I guess that's how omnibuses. How you say that?
Omnibuy.
Omnibuy?
I don't know. That's
I don't know. I wrote
false.
omnibuses. I assumed I looked this up before I designed this webpage, so let's assume that's correct. I don't know.
I think it is.
You can also buy these in hardcover format, right? So this one would contain like issue 1 through 30. This one connect to the next 30, that sort of thing, right? So, kind of a cool feature of the series pages. If you're curious in how you can purchase them, you can do it in that way. And all of these have individual pages with purchase links as well. So check it out.
Yeah. So essentially,
that beautiful Vader Down comic cover.
Yeah,
it's so
it's my
good
favorite comic cover of all time.
It is. It looks like a movie poster. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, at the end of the day, like our friends on Cosmic Force talk about this a lot with the comics. Like it can be so intimidating, especially to get into those. And from day one, our goal at UTD has been to make it easy. So
That's right.
We hope the comic series do that. Lando, thank you for your review. Chris, thank you for your review. And as a reminder, whether you're reviewing a book or a comic series or a comic trade, whatever it is, you can go to Utini, look it up, scroll to the bottom, leave a star review and a rating, and maybe we'll read it on the show to help other people find stuff that they'll love next. All right. This week, we have no new merch ad. Next week, we may be revealing a little special surprise to get you ready for the end of the month. So we're going to dive right into the main topic of the night, which is the Dark Side Draft. Now, if you missed our first fantasy draft, we took all Jedi Council members that we had in canon so far, and we each made a team. We had to think about what characters do we like the most, how powerful are they, what are the group dynamics, right? Essentially, we're just all making a team for fun and to say, what would they be most effective at? So once we did Jedi, it only made sense to do dark side users. Now, before the comments come in, we are not doing every Sith dark side user in the history of Legends. This is not that long of a show. We know we missed some. If we missed your favorite, though, we yelled at each other earlier.
We yelled at each other earlier about who we should include in this because, as usual, Eric planned the whole show, and all the rest of us waited to the absolute last minute to raise any arguments whatsoever.
I was at work today. The rest of us. Wait, what are they doing?
The rest of us. All right. So me and Charles. All right, not Wes. So Wes probably didn't read Slack until 10 minutes before the show, for being honest. Yeah. So
just found out this is a dark side draft.
Yeah.
Here to run the cameras, gentlemen.
Yes.
So what we did for this draft, we decided mostly canon, just to keep it a little segmented. We have a few honorable, great Legends characters we added in, and we are each going to pick 6 characters that we're going to try to build the best team. Now, we're going to talk why we picked them, have a lot of fun with it. And in the chat, if you want us to pick certain people, you can tell us why. Maybe we'll listen afterwards. If we got some wrong, if we got some right, tell us in the comments below, tell us in the Discord. We'd love to hear your opinions. So first thing, though, we're going to show you the board, the draft board that I decided to make now that I have a computer that works. These are the people we are drafting from. If you're just on audio, here's the list that we are seeing before us. We have Darth Bane, Darth Plagueis, Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, Darth Tyrannus, Darth Vader, Darth Revan, Asajj Ventress, Mother Talzin, Savage Opress, the Grand Inquisitor, the second sister from Fallen Order, fifth brother and seventh sister from Rebels, Darth Kaldoth, Pong Krell, Barriss Offee, Snoke, Kylo Ren, Darth Tenebrous, Darth Nihilus, Darth Sion, Darth Caedus, and Darth Malak. So
look at this. Look at the color palette in this. we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, "Come on, we have to include Kylo Ren. How can we have not included Kylo Ren?" And Eric's like, "Bro, he's definitely on there." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I couldn't see him from all the black and red. Good lord."
Yeah. Oh, he's the master of the red lightsaber.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like Snoke is holding his lightsaber. Is what it looks like.
It does. It totally does. Yeah.
So there's 24 people here. We're each going to get 6. Same as last time, we'll go in a snake order draft, which means the first person starts, they get the first pick. We go 2, 3, 4, then we go 4, 3, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. All right. Mm-hmm. In order to pick the first person, because last time, you're right, Wes, the chat just loved you and picked you. We're going to leave it up to fate. Leave it up to chance. We're going to spin a wheel with our names on it, old school. So first pick of the draft, Corey, let's see who we get.
All right.
My dark side powers.
I got everybody on
Corey
here.
On there? Okay.
Just Corey 4 times.
Corey.
If I get picked last, I'm going to rage. Oh my God. Here we
All
go.
Right, let's see who we get. Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops.
Oh, no! Come on!
Man, that's just the way it goes.
Dang
Sorry,
it!
It's
Sorry
Wes.
about that.
All right.
Take Wes out and God. Wow. Okay.
The worst.
Man, it feels good.
All right, here we
Wow.
go. Charles,
Cloning. Powers only
extra
the Sith knew.
S, Charles, just for you.
That's
Like,
my boss.
all right.
It's like Luke with 2 U's. Here we go.
Luke. All right. Second pick. God, I can't believe that happened, Wes.
Yes!
Okay.
Yes!
Corey.
Better
Corey
make it a
gets
good one.
2.
All right.
So you have to take Pong Krell the second round.
Oh, I got to remove. Here we go. You ready? Last one.
God, I'm nervous now.
Bad.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. No!
There it is.
I'll
Charles.
take it. I'll take third.
All right. So Wes, Corey, Charles, me. That's the draft order. Folks, start pitching your drafts in the chat. But we got 24 people to get through. So, Wes, as you're used to, start us off and tell us why.
I will absolutely take number 1 overall pick from the 2021 Dark Force user draft. Darth Bane. Darth
Bane.
Is my first
You know
pick.
what? I'm gonna give everybody different colors. Wes, what color do you want?
Magenta, please.
Magenta.
Excellent.
All right. Darth
Great
Bane.
first pick. Great first pick. Darth Bane from Clemson.
Definitely pick Darth Bane. Is
man.
one of my favorite reads, one of my favorite Legends read of all reads I have ever had. Created the rule of 2.
Right.
He had, the very memorable moment at the end of the 3rd book, which I'm doing better about not spoiling, so I won't say.
Hey, we're learning. I dig
but
it.
Darth Bane is super powerful.
I love Darth Bane.
I loved all his adventures to try and like learn more about the Sith and become more powerful that way. So yeah, Darth Bane number 1.
All right, solid pick. The draft board. Corey Helton, you are on the clock.
Okay, let's
Number
see
2
here.
overall pick.
Number 2 overall pick. Man, there are some good ones in here. I think I'm going
Pick
to
Justin
take.
Fields, you coward.
Yes, I think I'm going to take Revan. Revan is one of
Dang,
my
Jared
personal
called 1,
favorites.
too.
Yes, there you go. And I'm gonna take blue. So I got Revan. I'll take him.
Nice.
I love
Okay.
you know how I feel about KOTOR. Yeah, it holds
Yeah.
a special place in my heart. And like I almost picked Malik because honestly I think that is it Revan's lightsaber?
Yeah.
Nice. Sick, dude. I love that speaking of the color palette,
Yes.
if you look at our where's our screen share? If you look at our color palette here, everybody's got red lightsabers except for Revan. Revan has one of his lightsabers are purple because that's awesome. Yes.
There
that's
it is.
awesome.
All right,
Because
Revan.
that's awesome.
That's right.
Bane
That's
and
right.
Revan, the oldest school Legends characters we have on this board.
You know, I think that's true. That is correct.
Yep. All right, Charles, third on the clock. What do you got?
All right. I think I'm going to have to take the guy who is walking an AT-AT on a leash on my t-shirt, which is Darth Vader.
Darth
gotta
Vader.
choose.
Strong
Dang,
pick.
Solid pick.
What
solid
color do you
pick.
want?
Give me purple.
Purple. All
Yeah,
right,
that
Darth
one.
Vader. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I mean, I don't think I have to explain my choice, really, right? I mean, the Rogue One hallway scene. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
The
pretty good.
original. Yeah.
Brian definitely wouldn't pick that, but that's okay. And pink milk.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, Darth Vader, I think, is a little underrated. I feel like he's such
I
a.
completely agree. I
he's
was
such
gonna
a-
pick him. I thought he was gonna fall.
I know, like he's like. I mean, he's like the big bad, right? He always has been the big bad. He's always makes it on one of those like who are the worst villains in history, competitions. He always makes near the top of the list and stuff. But like, we just know Vader so well at this point that like he's not as scary as he is supposed to be. But like,
Right.
then you have stuff that comes out like that hallway scene in Rogue One, like some of the stuff in the comics where he's just godlike powerful. I love that. What's that stormtrooper? No, it's the rebels scene where they're all surrounding him in the desert.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they're like, you gotta stay. What do they say? He's like, halt, you're surrounded. And he says, the only thing I'm surrounded by is cowards and dead men or something like
yeah.
fear. He says fear and dead
fear
men.
dead
It's like,
men.
holy crap, dude. I love it. So good.
All right.
It's
Great
like
pick.
people are trying to find an alternative to Darth Vader because they've seen him, the big bad, like you said, so much. And
Right.
like, who else can we like that's a Dark Force user or a Sith? And they're trying to pinpoint that one that's worse or better than Darth Vader. But
I know.
I mean, who
He's
really
really good.
is?
He's really good.
All right, that's pretty good. So I got the turn now. I got 2 picks. So this is tough because I'm trying in my mind in this draft, the people on the team got to like work together, right?
That's tough. That's tough with the dark side draft.
Yeah, I know. So maybe I'll go a little less. Maybe I'll go a little just straight up powerful. I'll go Sidious. Darth Sidious is a solid pick for me. Wes, let's make me yellow or gold. Sidious. I mean, he created the Empire. He engineered the entirety of the Clone Wars. Like, an astonishingly powerful Force user, took down the Jedi Council. Like,
I almost picked Sidious. Sidious is a great choice.
It worked, you know.
That's a good one.
With or without the Omen harness. Which do you want?
I want him with an Onus harness, but it's like those old school action figures where it's just an add-on that I had to mail away for, and then they send you an Omen harness.
You like pull a string and he karate chops, like.
Yeah. So Darth Sidious, Palpatine, also repping Naboo, one of my favorite planets. So I'll take him.
How do we feel about Sidious now that we know he's controlling everything? You feel good about Sidious now? I feel good about Sidious now. Like, I'm okay with it. Good
about it.
I'm so okay with it now.
Makes more sense, you know. I mean, by nature of storytelling, all the people we're drafting essentially lost at some point because good triumphs. But for the most part, I think Sidious had a plan and he carried it through to basic perfection until like the last 30 seconds of his life.
Well, was he risking it though when Mace Windu had him dead to rights? Did he know Anakin was gonna?
Ooh,
I mean,
that's a story for another time.
Did he know Mace Windu was going to survive the fall? Is that your question?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
A really profound thing just occurred to me. I don't know if you guys have ever thought about this. Sorry, here's a hell of a tangent for you. This is the first time in Star Wars canon history in which the Sith are in fact gone. Like, as far as we know, right? Like,
yep.
Like, Sidious he completed the plan, but then he was defeated. So now what? Are the Sith like gone forever? Like, do you think this is ever going to be revisited in canon? Like, what happens to the Sith?
They'll be back.
Yeah, because there's still holocrons out there. I think there's still dark side users that can like stumble upon the teachings of old and rebuild. You know,
in Legends,
fall to the dark side.
That's true. That's true. In Legends, it was like somewhat comical how many Sith there were, like after Sidious. Like, so they just kept coming up with them. Like, but a really interesting initiative, maybe something similar to like the High Republic, might be really fun. Is like 300 years after the films, way down the line, somehow the Sith returned, right? Like, that would be a super interesting plot line.
Palpatine returned
again.
Somehow Palpatine's returned.
God,
I dig it. Well, one person who won't be there is my first pick of the second round, who is a character I love. I think has one of the best arcs in the history of Star Wars, period. I'm taking Maul.
Great.
Yeah. As a Clone Wars and Rebels super fan myself, Maul is such an astonishing character. He's got he's powerful as all get out, let's be clear, but also just his desire to just become a whole, to rule, but also to be alone. I just find his stories fascinating, and I love him. I don't think there's any way he would get to the next 2 rounds and come back to me. So I gotta get my boy Darth Maul.
Wrong pick.
Sidious and Maul are my picks. Charles, back to you.
First of all, I'm sad because Maul was definitely gonna be my next pick. But let's see here. Looking back at the board, not ready to take an Inquisitor. Not ready to take a Night Sister.
There's gonna be a run on Inquisitors like there's a run on quarterbacks in every fantasy draft. Where it's like, oh god, okay,
I gotta get one.
Oh man, I'm really torn between 2 people right now. But
I thought you were gonna say it. I'm like, don't do that.
No, I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm going to choose Plagueis.
Oh, Plagueis, interesting.
I got it.
Very solid
because he is Sidious's master, right? Like, he taught him everything he knew. So, I have to have someone to counter Sidious, despite the fact that Sidious killed him. I'm happy to bring him onto the team. And I mean, one of the most, conversation generating books in all of Legends. Like, anytime Darth Plagueis comes up, get ready to have a conversation as long as that book, because there's so much to get.
Yeah.
Well, and you bring up another good point because Wes, you said this when you drafted Bane, that you drafted him partly because his books were so good. We are kind of taking into account how good their stories are. Like Maul, I drafted Maul because his stories are so good. So We're giving that Utini Living Force spin on if you have a really good literature about you, you have a higher draft class.
Yeah,
that is true.
Let's be real. If we were just treating Darth Bane at face value, he would be so pissed that there were 25 or whatever people on this draft list. Rule of 2, not 25.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, and Stephanie Mack makes a great point. To be fair, Palpatine did kill him in his sleep. So when he's awake, just keep him up.
That is
and then
true.
You're
Or he was very inebriated and in his pool hat. It was one of those two. I can't remember.
One of those two. Speaking of which, Corey, you have the next pick.
I don't remember how Plagueis was killed in the book. If, by the way, I don't remember that at all.
He was hammered drunk.
And then Palpatine Force Lightninged him.
You guys have all read. Eric, I know you've read Plagueis, right? Haven't you read it? And Charles, have you read it too? Wes, I bet you haven't read it.
I definitely have read it.
You have read it? Oh,
Yes,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
It up now and then.
Nice.
Major
Okay,
dark
fair
side
enough.
vibes.
Fair enough. Plagueis,
right.
famous book. All right. I'm up now. Okay.
Yes, you are.
Let's see. I wasn't ready. All right.
There's a solid board still.
There's a very solid board still. Man, there's a lot of good ones.
We have
up
taken
here.
them almost in order though from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Well, I'm going to break the cycle, and I'm going to choose Darth Revan's apprentice, Darth Malak.
All right. A full KOTOR team.
Yeah, I have blue. Yeah, full KOTOR team.
All right.
I love Darth Malak. I thought he was really scary in KOTOR. In that scene where he on Terrace, where he orders the destruction of there you go. He orders the destruction of Terrace, and like the officer he's with like hesitates. He's like, the whole planet. He's like, did you hear me? Yeah, blow it all up.
Did I stutter?
Did I stutter? It's like, oh, dude, it's scary. And he was really hard boss to beat at the end of the game. Like you had to classic video game fashion, like run around and like still life, and then like try to run in circles so he couldn't hit you. Like really dumb video game stuff. It was a lot of fun, man. I have a lot of fun memories of that.
All right, Malak. So God, you got Revan and Malak on a team. We got Sidious and Maul on a team. We got who'd you have? You had Plagueis and who'd you have, Charles?
Plagueis and Vader.
Vader, man.
That's the only. Okay, so Wes, you got two in a row now to join Bane.
All right, I thought about this, and I read a little bit about this too. I did some studying. So my second pick of the last round is Darth Tenebrous, the the master, or if you will, of Darth Plagueis, right?
It's this guy, right? Isn't it the Bith?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's the Bith. He was a politician. He was a chemist. He was pretty much he was all of it, and Sith. And he tried to formulate maxi-chlorians. Does that ring a bell to you guys?
That weird short story, man.
And he tried to basically put his essence in the cells of Darth Plagueis, and that way he would figure out how to recreate himself inside Darth Plagueis. But he didn't. It was and died a horrible death.
Horrible death.
It was a horrible death.
If you read the Insider Collection, the Insider Collection Volume 1 that just came out with all the legend short stories from Insider, there's a 10-part story that is truly horrifying.
It's super cool.
He was a good character in the Plagueis novel. Like I remember the first time I read Plagueis I was a kid. Like it was a long time ago, and it was like, dude, a Bith Jedi or a Bith Sith. This is really, really cool. Like
the Bith Sith.
The Bith Sith. Yes, he was really cool. But then he was like creepy and scary all the way through the book. Dude. Like, yeah, it was good. Good stuff.
Up until he joined Figuring Dan in the modal nodes. And he kind of had a different vibe.
Oh man,
solid pick, Wes.
All right, thank you.
So you got one more.
First pick of the third round. And this is I'm just going off of what I read today. I didn't know exactly who this was until my third pick of the third round is the Lord of Pain, Darth Sion.
All right.
Yes.
Darth Sion.
Who it says at the cost of all consuming agony, he could rise from certain death and achieve immortality. So he's the most metal out of all Sith that I read.
God.
So I
Dude.
had to pick this
This is
guy.
a metal team, Wes.
It is a metal team. That guy was super scary in the second KOTOR game. Speaking of scary dudes, like
Yeah.
when I played the second KOTOR game, like I was like scared of that guy. Like when he first shows up, like he's in this like really dark hallway of this abandoned Republic ship, and like all the lighting is like turned down. He's just like he's in there on his knees with the light like flickering, and it's like,
Jeez.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Well, and in this picture, it doesn't look quite like how he does in that game, because in the game he's like all cracked and looks like he's made of like stone.
Yeah, his
and stuff.
Wikipedia
It's-
page is great.
Yeah. Oh, these are amazing.
Let me see
And
if I can find
he calls on his pain, anger,
There you
and
go.
hatred to rise from certain death and achieve immortality at the cost of all consuming.
Oh my
Look at this
God.
guy, dude.
That's
He's
how I
so
remember him.
scary,
Metal,
dude.
God.
Look at him.
Awesome.
He's super scary, man.
Look at that.
Like,
He's got a full sleeve there.
yes. His face is like missing. Yeah. All right.
8-pack. Let's
No
do
thanks. No
My
thanks.
God. Okay. Okay.
Hard pass.
So Corey, back to you, man.
All right, back to me. You know, I'm gonna take this for an interesting turn. I'm gonna break away from my my masked, helmeted team.
Okay.
I think a bit, and I'm gonna pick someone that I used to really like a lot, actually, and so much so that I used to say I was gonna name my kid this one day, and that is Jason Solo, and this is Darth Cadus, right? Cadus, is that how you
You're gonna
say
name,
it?
wait, were you gonna name the kid Cadus or Jason?
Jason. I was gonna name him Jason. I used to love the name Jason, Jacen. Actually,
Yeah.
for a long time, like every video game that I played, I would name my character like Jason.
That's
that was
solid.
like my.
That's
That was like my.
solid.
Do you guys have those things you did as a kid? Like you picked a thing and just did it all the
yeah.
time. Yeah, like Jason.
Xavier. I used to Xavier all
Yes.
the time.
Okay. There you go. Jason
Ridiculous.
was my thing. It was my thing, right? So like I used to love. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot. The first series I ever read was like it was about him as a character and like his fall to the dark side, and I loved it. I ate it up. It's what got me into Star Wars, right? So I have a long history with this character, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, my brother-in-law is named Jason, so I can't name my kid. Can't name my kid that now. So
You spell it
Bummer.
different.
that's
It's
right.
different, right?
That's right. There are plenty of other great Star Wars names. So
That's fair. So Cadus, all right though, in the third round,
Darth
it's a solid
Cadus,
pick.
yep, Darth Cadus.
Charles, where are you going next?
Jared says Cadus, Keydus. I'll spell it
Keydus.
that. I'll spell it
Keydus.
that. There we go.
All right, my next choice. Oh man, this is getting tough because I'm worried there are a couple people that aren't going to be there next time.
I know that's the thing. It's really hard.
I'm gonna steal your boy too if you don't pick him here.
Yeah, come on now.
Don't you dare. Okay, well that just swung my vote. I realize, Wes, that you're manipulating me, but I am walking right into the trap. I am going to choose Darth Caldoth, the Durag
Nice.
Oh
Jedi.
man.
George-
Speaking of
Man.
walking into traps,
The Medusa of Darth of the Sith.
Yes. So if you guys don't know who Darth Caldoth is, I'm not super surprised. He's probably one of the lesser known characters that's on this board, right? But he came thundering onto the scene thanks to George Mann in Myths and Fables. And then we've gotten a little bit more information from him since then. And I hope that eventually we get, I don't know, a whole book about him. But
yeah, we talked about that with George on every interview. We brought up Caldoth. We're like, more Caldoth, more.
More.
I tweeted at George Mann earlier today, and I was like, I'm going to take Caldoth, and I'm going to make sure that Corey gets Pong Krell.
Don't
And he
give
was
me
like-
Pong Krell. I don't want him.
He tweeted back some support. So I've held up my end of the deal, the
You
first
have.
half of the deal. I've chosen Caldoth. And y'all, so there's a really cool story. If you want to go back and read Myths and Fables, it's called Gaze of Stone, I think is
Yeah.
the one that he was in.
Yep, it's great.
Where he basically flips a plan to be betrayed on the person who's trying to betray him. So
It's really cool.
that's
It's really cool.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh man. Okay. I get two. This is there's like four that I want, and I'm pretty sure only two will come, or maybe none will come back to me. Okay. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with my gut first. One of the I think standout characters of canon lately, or I guess less lately, but just in the last decade. I'm going to Saj. Give me a Saj Ventress.
I knew it.
All
I love her.
Saj.
I do have her lightsaber in my living room, or dining room. But yes, all right. So got Asajj. I mean, Asajj is just a freaking fantastic character, from her introduction in Clone Wars as Dooku's apprentice to kind of her disillusion with that to becoming her own bounty hunter to her arc in Dark Disciple, which is just still incredible. We talked about it last week as one of the greatest, like, kind of under the radar books.
Yeah.
That is just really tremendous. I love everything she does. She's a fascinating character. She's super powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, she can
really,
hold her own with
a
basically
really,
everyone.
really great troubled individual in the Star
Yeah.
Wars saga.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoy that plot in Clone Wars where her and one of the Night Sisters try to assassinate Dooku, and they come really close. Like,
Yes, they're so close.
that is a great couple episodes there. Yeah.
There's a lot of
All right.
character development with her in the Clone Wars. They
I know.
spent a lot of time
Yeah.
on her.
How
She does a
she's
great
like
job.
she's like single-handedly almost responsible for the destruction of the Night Sisters, and she has to bear that burden after the fact. Like, man, she's a great character, really great character. Good choice.
So the chat is telling me now, and I was reading this. I didn't say anything because I've been reading this for a bit when I was thinking about Asajj. Emma's telling me to pick Mother Talzin because then you're pretty OP. Because Mother Talzin can
That's
basically do Night Sister
true.
magic. And I
Yeah,
like
but I
that
mean, she's
pick.
already part of the Night
It's
Sisters,
tough
right? So
because-
you got to pick somebody else.
There's a couple options here that I really like. But I'm gonna play off the relationship dynamics and not pick a couple. Again, we all gotta be mysterious because who knows what's gonna fall to us next time, right? I am going to pick Kylo Ren.
Okay, Kylo Ren.
Yeah. I think like I've been rewatching sequel trilogy lately. Charlie and I just wanted some, the movies for those nights you've already seen something, kind of just want to watch it. And just watching Force Awakens and Last Jedi back to back, like, he's such a freaking awesome character. Like, I mean, you want to talk about like troubled characters, obviously he's treated dramatically, but also just pure power level. I mean, Luke says, I've only sensed his power once before in Ben Solo, right? He freezes the blaster bolt in midair and has a 10-minute conversation while it's just kind of hanging. Like, he's such a cool freaking character.
First time we've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
And
It was really
yeah.
good. He was a really striking
love
character in Force Awakens. Like, he definitely stood out as being interesting and unique. And then when it was revealed that he is in fact like Han and Leia's son, like, it hits hard, man. Force Awakens has got a lot of hard-hitting punches, like, for real.
And I'm not gonna go ahead.
And he took off his helmet. You figured that like a dark side user, a Sith, would not take their helmet off, would leave it on the whole time. But he's just like, I'm a human boy.
Flawless hair.
Yes, he's flawless hair, and he smashes it. He smashes it down in like the ashes, right? And that was like, then we find out behind the scenes, like that was a totally different scene that they filmed, where it was going to be like a room with all these trophies from his battles and stuff, and these are like the ashes of his enemies, but they edited it out so he slams it down in front of Rey, and it's like, he's a scary dude. The fact that he took his helmet off, like, just so like immediately like that is ballsy. Like,
Can I say something controversial? My favorite Kylo Ren look is helmet and hood. I love
Really?
the
That's a
helmet
great
and
look.
hood.
Yeah, that's great.
that's fair enough.
Yeah,
him
I
too.
like. Well, and it's funny, we're talking about other stories, and Rise of Kylo Ren is still one of the most popular comics in the history of the canon. Like, that thing
It's true.
sold out
Yes.
almost as much as High Republic #1, honestly. So that definitely factors in. And if you want to think of fan fiction on my team with Asajj Ventress and Kylo Ren after a mission, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you not to.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying that I'm troubled, you're troubled, and
Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna
it's
lie,
back
looking,
to Charles.
looking at your lineup so far, Eric, it's kind of hard to believe that you went fourth. Like,
That's
look
true.
Yeah,
who
Palpatine,
you've
Maul,
got right
Asajj,
now.
and Kylo Ren.
That's really good.
Those are some headliners.
Can you imagine Kylo Ren answering directly to Sidious like all the time? Like, he would be a force to be reckoned with, dude. Like,
Yeah, if they actually like teamed, because obviously Rise of Skywalker, they're like at each other's throats a little bit.
yeah. Mhm.
But man, so much fun stuff. All right, Charles, We're the 4th round now, 2nd pick. We're about to hit the break of character. We've all been pretty really stoked, and I'm really excited because I think we're about to hit some that we don't love.
We definitely are. I am going to listen to the chat because I've got like 2 characters who I consider to be like very crafty and very cunning with Plagueis and with Kaldeth, and then I've got one just overpowered character in Vader, and I'm gonna choose someone totally different but maybe equally strong. I'm going Mother Talzin.
Mother Talzin. Okay.
Damn it.
It's a great call.
She's a magic user, right? She's like the only one on this board who really uses magic, unless you kind of want to count like Asajj Ventress or Savage Opress kind of by association. But yeah, I'll tell you, I love using her on the Galaxy of Heroes app.
There you go. There you go.
That's how I'm making all of these picks. No.
That's phenomenal.
Mother Talzin was, I remember when we were first introduced to her, being really taken aback and being like, I mean, who is this? And like, what is this
creepy and
green
scary
smoke that's everywhere? And like, what is happening right now? And she became really a very important part of the Clone Wars story overall, with everything that happened with the Night Sisters and Maul and Savage and Asajj and Massage.
Yeah.
Sorry, I started freestyling there for a second. There's no massage. That's
the next Patreon goal is Charles' freestyle.
No, but I really like Talzin. I think she's very unique, and I'm happy to have her a part of my team.
Phenomenal pick. All right, Corey.
All right.
We're getting to the end of the 4th.
I'm excited to choose this one. I am actually going to pick someone that is, I think, a severely underrated character, and that's Snoke.
Nice.
Wow.
Yes,
nice.
I'm picking Snoke, and we'll talk about the team round out here in just a second. Let's see here. I chose blue, right? Yeah, so here we go. Snoke. So, Snoke is, I think, not really at the forefront of a lot of people's minds as being like a powerful dark side user, but he totally is. Like,
he's literally Palpatine.
Yes, and I am sort of the opinion of a fairly like straightforward storyline that we haven't really had answered yet. I don't think like he's literally a puppet, right? I don't think that Palpatine is inside his body controlling his movements and stuff, right? Like, I think he's a free-thinking individual that has been trained by Palpatine, that is a clone of Palpatine. That is my theory, right?
Well,
and Palpatine,
of course, most importantly, he looks like this.
That's right. Stupid hat. His stupid hat. My favorite shot in the entire sequel trilogy is like immediately prior to the throne room scene. It's not immediately prior to the throne room scene, but it's the first time we see the throne room where he's like lecturing Kylo Ren, right? He's like, bested by a girl who's never even held a lightsaber. And then he stands up and he bounces the lightning off the ground to hit Kylo Ren. It is epic. And he just casually uses Sith lightning like that. Like, listen, we know from the books and the comics that Sith lightning is like, that's really hard to do. Like, it's not something that comes very easily. You have to be well trained in the dark side to do it. And he just casually bounces it off the floor to hit Kylo Ren with it. It's like, dude, Snoke is super powerful, and I hope that we get some more of that story. I hope we get some more of that story, like in the future, of like what the hell was he doing? How was he trained? What kind of evil has Snoke done? Because I'm sure there is a lot. So, strong
he
pick.
became Supreme Leader. So
right.
There's a rise.
That's right.
That hat was evil. That's the question for you. Eric's was Sidious with or without the Omen.
All right.
Yours is Snoke with or without.
Why did they put the stupid hat on Snoke? Why? Were they like, listen, Snoke looks creepy and evil, obviously. How do we make him look a little more loving and kind, like a father figure? Give him a hat.
Cover up that head scar, man.
Wait, what?
Creeping kids out. They don't want to be Sith anymore.
About to put on galoshes and go have a snowball fight with his childhood best friend.
What if the hat is a Drengir leaf?
A what?
Ooh. It's a Maxine station.
Whoa!
Oh, here you go.
Wes, who do you got? Yeah, let's look at the hat.
There's that.
Oh, that was more leafy.
It almost looks like Donald Trump's hair. in that picture. in
Kinda,
particular.
yeah.
Oh my God!
It
Wow.
does. It looks.
Combed over.
I got some real ET vibes.
What is that
like,
picture in the middle?
I don't-
Right there with the
where?
big like Queen Elizabeth hat.
My gosh.
Google images
right,
never
all
fails.
right.
How many different hats?
Why is this an option?
strawberry
Strawberry
shortcake.
shortcake hat.
Oh my God! Shortcake cap, hat, strawberry supreme leader Snoke is the link title. What the hell?
All right.
Oh
Wes,
my
save us
God!
From this
Sorry.
Two picks for Wes. Two picks for Wes.
All right, so I know this is what's gonna happen to me. I thought we were only doing 5. All right, so if we were only doing 5 rounds, then I wouldn't have to worry about this. But apparently, I'm getting the last pick.
Good job, Pong
see
Krell.
that.
You're doing that, Pong
Alright,
Krell, bro.
I see that I'm getting the last pick. So, in the 4th round of the Dark Side user draft, I'm picking Darth Tyrannus.
Okay,
Darth
so
Tyrannus.
the chat has been talking about him, and yo, Emma, you're giving away my draft strategy, man. Like, why
How
are
is
these guys on?
how
Maybe
is
because Aaron
Dooku
wants to
still on the
wait.
board? I know.
How,
I almost
how
took him.
Dooku is still on the board, I do not know. The best
Insane,
duelist
insane.
of all the Sith,
Yep.
maybe of
Yep.
all the Jedi. We don't really know.
Yeah. Incredible character.
He
Anakin beat him though.
Again,
Anakin beat him though.
yes,
He did.
time
and
and
who
time.
is Anakin?
Well,
Vader.
The
And who
chosen
has
one.
Vader. Charles.
we're in the 4th rounds and he wasn't available.
I am shocked that Dooku fell this low, especially with Dooku Jedi Lost being such a thing we
Yes.
all love so much.
Dooku.
But great pick.
Dooku.
Best
Great
of
pick.
quite a few people, so that is
Great
my.
pick.
I already know what my last pick's gonna be.
If
Okay.
I think
No,
about
con-
Dooku just
so-
in the movies, I'm like plus minus. I think about Dooku Jedi Lost, and I wish I took him in the first round.
That's right,
Like
that's
that's
right.
what that
For
book
sure.
does for his character.
Yeah, one of my,
Kevin,
you know, I
really
think
amazing.
we talked about that in our controversial opinion episodes. One of my more controversial opinions was that I don't really like Dooku that much until we got to Dooku Jedi Lost. Was really good.
Yeah.
but
You ever
Yeah.
played him in Battlefront 2?
it's
mean, the guy
impossible.
was-
You know, like
No,
the way he
he's
uses
so
a
good.
sword, it's like I
You
can't
just
do
log
it. It's
on
like
to people and you say
I
that
can't
you
do
are
it.
a duelist. He's so good.
I
And
could
have
never
him in
use
his-
him.
I have him in his black pajamas. It's great.
Oh my God, yes. Great
And
stuff.
so, first
Black
pick
pajamas.
of the 5th round,
Yep.
I'm picking Darth Hunger Sucker himself, Darth Nihilus.
Nice.
Great choice. Man, you got
Well, I
some
had to-
power, man.
I had to pick some. I had to pick some definite powerful guys, knowing that I'm gonna be left with person we will not name, the worst character that we've ever seen in Clone Wars. The cringiest of cringe makes you want to throw up. Every
We'll get
time
there.
he
We'll get
speaks to
there.
Those people. Okay, I already picked them.
Nihilist.
Listen,
Your territory.
Nihilus, you know, if I would love to see Darth Nihilus brought into canon with the High Republic Nihil somehow. Like,
For sure.
like
Yeah,
maybe
let's do it.
some kind of weird influence. Like they just name it. They just name drop him. They don't confirm
Yeah.
anything from the games or nothing, right? We
Yep.
don't have to make his whole story canon or anything, but just I don't know, some kind of inspiration from Darth Nihilus. It's like he was
So
scary too. He doesn't
looking
speak
back,
in the
yeah.
games. He just makes creepy sounds.
I can dig it.
Looking back, I have 2 of the 3, right? So I have Darth Nihilus and I have Darth Scion. So
Yeah. Well,
That's
speaking
true.
of just weird, creepy
You're pretty
sound mouth
forward.
noises, Corey, you're next.
Mouth noises. Oh man, I wasn't ready. Oh man, I don't like these picks left, bro. Oh man, who do I want? I can't stand the Inquisitor squad and their stupid spinny lightsabers. I don't want any of those a-holes.
Wow.
come on, man. Helicopters.
Helicopter
sabers?
lightsabers are so
mean,
stupid. It's
there
my,
seems like-
that's my
it's pretty
controversial
OP.
opinion right there.
It's pretty OP.
All right. Well, then
Oh.
I seem like there's a very obvious choice for you to take, Corey.
It's,
Also, if it
it's
helps,
not Pong. Let me tell you, it's not
No.
that asshole. All right, I'm taking this guy. What's his name? Savage Opress. That's what I'm
yeah,
taking.
Oppressed.
you have to know his name to draft him.
Massage
Perez.
Opress. I will tell you though, a couple
That's
months ago, I did deliver a baby, and they named their kid Savage. I shit you not, and I was like.
Savage, dude.
I was, is it Savage? They're like, no, it's Savage. I'm like, yes, yes. Yes, brother. Yes.
Nice.
True story. True story. Oh man.
All right, we're not gonna get better than that, Charles. That's
All right. I think I don't agree with your comment on all the Inquisitors, Corey. I agree with it about some of them, but there are two here who I consider to be pretty cool. One of them that I consider to be really cool, and that's who I'm going to take, and that is the second sister from Fallen
nice.
Order.
Okay.
Nice pick.
All right. All right. We'll give you that.
There are
We'll give you that.
Inquisitors, and then there is the second sister. And if you have not played Fallen Order, I'm not going to say why that's the case, but she's got a great story.
Yeah, okay, she does. She
Knowing
does.
who she is with the helmet on and then with the helmet off, because
That's
we do
true.
get that.
That's true.
It is heart-wrenching. It mirrors Cal Kestis's journey a little bit.
It does.
And I really love that character. I thought the actress that portrayed her did a fantastic job as well.
100%.
She's got a great look. Yeah.
Yeah, the helmet is cool.
And she's menacing. Yeah, and she's very skillful in the game too. Like, she was very difficult to fight. I'm not great at Fallen Order to begin with, but she kicked my butt. So
I broke my mouse playing her. I broke it.
Did you really?
I broke the scroll wheel and it wouldn't work anymore.
That's why you gotta, guys, Utini game night.
That
That's why
is
you gotta watch.
hilarious, dude.
That's
Oh, that's funny.
That's great. All right, great pick. So I love Second Sister, but I'm glad you picked her because I'm feeling good. These are my last two picks. I'm rounding out this round and getting us into the last one. My last pick of the 5th round, I'm gonna go Barriss Offee. I love Barriss. She's got a great, obviously, that her last bit in Clone Wars shows why she's on this list. I love how she basically says everything we think about the Jedi on this show, really.
She does.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
she wants best. She's Luminara's apprentice, and I love Luminara. Like, Charlie and I especially, we got mad love for Luminara and Barriss. I think that her relationship with Ahsoka is super fascinating. From the time they get like stuck under that rubble and they got to get out to the time, obviously, where they like investigate her. And I think she just got a lot of cool ideas.
She does.
She was like one of the first, right, to show the Jedi being like not of sorts, being like
Here's what's
she was
wrong
like
with
the
you.
first to call them out, right? And she got thrown in jail for it.
I know. That little lightsaber fight between her and Anakin was real good. Like, the choreography was fantastic. It was far enough in where the animation was like really good at that point, and like really good fight. My only question is, why the hell did nobody else intervene? Because everybody sees her fighting with a red lightsaber, and Anakin's like fighting really hard and stuff, and like everybody just watches. All those people just watch. Just like, bro,
The Jedi, man.
somebody call Master Yoda or something, man. Like, come on.
One-on-one, boys.
Be
One-on-one.
respectful. Be respectful. But yeah,
ridiculous.
love Barriss, and I will finish off my team with the Grand Inquisitor. He's not in that much of canon yet. His appearance as the villain in season 1 of Rebels is great. I love that we find out. Again, slight spoilers here for Rebels, that he used to be a temple guard. And I love the design. Yeah, like even just aesthetically, like the design of the temple guards is so cool, and I love that story of him there and how he kind of reappears in more Force visions as time goes on. We get a little bit of like his spirit in the Vader comic that Soul does, and really, I think he's very menacing. I think he's got that calculated bit. He never runs towards a fight. He like walks very slowly. He's in control. So
he snatches up kids, takes orphans in his big white van. I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't he have some? Doesn't she have some? He has some stuff in the comics too. I think he does. Like the Vader, there's some stuff where Vader's like training him and stuff, which is pretty good.
Yeah, so he's one of the ones in the Inquisitor program. Obviously, when Sidious is trying to test Vader out, that he's one of the tests for Vader. They have some chats. Yeah,
he's
really cool.
A cool end to his story. I'm not gonna say like too much, but the end of his story is awesome. And his line, the line that he said, I think it's like some things are worse than death something like. Yeah,
because that's how he puts so much stakes onto Vader.
Yeah.
So for all those following along at home, we'll go over this at the end again. Corey, can you bring up the visual board for a second? Because that is my last pick. So my team for everyone listening is Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, Asajj Ventress, Kylo Ren, Barriss Offee, and the Grand Inquisitor. That's my final
interestingly, all of these characters, minus Barriss Offee, have really close ties to Sidious. Like he will make a really good leader.
True.
Make a really good leader to this squad. Like for real.
I love it. I feel good. All right, Charles.
He planned it.
You got your last one, buddy. We got 3 left. So those listening that are only audio, the people left on the board are 5th brother, 7th sister, and Pong Krell.
God.
Yeah, I'm not loving it, guys. I'm not loving it. But I think just to kind of keep my theme going here at the end of this whole draft, I'm going to choose the 7th sister. So I have
thank God
both sisters.
The 2nd and the 7th. I dig it.
Speaking of people with stupid hats, there's another one.
It's not the best hat. It's not the best hat. It looks a little bit like the back of Vader's helmet without like the face mask part.
Yeah, it does.
Well, and Blind Fates brings up a good point. 7th sister, you get her little droid thing, like the droid companion that's always now.
Exactly what I was thinking as well. Not really. I don't remember much about her, to be honest with you. I think isn't the voice actress, wasn't it Freddie Prinze Jr.'s like real life wife?
Yeah, Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. So there
you're
you
getting
go.
Buffy is what happens.
I'm getting Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then she can beat the Grand Inquisitor because he's totally a vampire.
There it is. All right, Corey, you want to make the easiest pick in this entire draft?
Easiest pick in the entire draft. I don't even need to show you the board. It's not this a-hole for sure. It's this other a-hole. What's this guy's name again?
5th brother.
He's the nth brother. The nth brother, because that's the only way I can remember any of these people is their nth numbers, just their useless names. What number is he?
5th.
Jesus Christ,
Fifth.
the 5th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Brother, so bad. I mean, he's kind of scary. I'll give him that. He's scary.
He throws his hat, does he not?
He does throw his. Wait, does he? No. That's the bounty hunter dude in Clone Wars.
That's Embo.
Yeah,
That's Embo. Whatever.
Ooh,
throws his hat. Can you imagine how dumb that would be? They have spinning lightsabers, and he throws his hat. Like, come on.
Embo surfs on his hat.
I will say he is in that. He is in the arc in Clone Wars where they're like kidnapping all the kids, and he's like pretty scary in that episode because I think they walk. Don't they go into that shuttle with all the like refugees on it, and it like implies that he just ruthlessly murders all of them.
Rebels. Yeah. He just
that's in Rebels,
and it like goes across the hall, and there's a blackout. Like he just murders everybody.
That was really dark. I remember that.
He's real sick SOB, Corey.
That's right. That's right. Well, better than the last sicko SOB for you, and none other than your draft. There it is.
So here's the challenge, listeners and viewers. Pong Krell is the only character left on the board. So Wes,
no.
Oh?
No.
Okay, Wes. I was gonna offer you your challenge. Whoever you pick now.
Congeniality, I pick the Living Force podcast.
Get the hell out of here with that. You cannot pick the Living Force podcast as a Sith, you douche. Oh my God.
We're all a bunch of Force suckers over here.
All right, so Wes, here's my challenge to you.
Tell me about it.
Pitch to us why, and we'll listen to you. Okay. Why Pong Krell is a good draft pick. So you're a guy, you're a GM. You had to draft this guy. Tell your coach why you did. What's good about him?
He was.
There's literally nothing good. He has multiple arms.
Yeah.
He can hold lots of weapons.
There you go. He was big dude. He had 4 huge arms. He had 2 double-bladed lightsabers. And he was so steadfast in his ways, he would never take like no for an answer. He'd always say, do it this way or the highway. And so they all agreed with what he was telling them up until the very end, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he pretty much killed off a lot of clones until
he did
inevitable.
Yeah.
You do have to remember that the clones killed all the Jedi, right? So like they did.
Yeah.
They killed all the Jedi. And like he like really stood his own against all those clone troopers. And That was really violent also. It's one of the only times we see lightsabers used on people in the Clone Wars TV show.
Yep.
And like when he picks that guy up and breaks him over his knee, do you remember that? It was violent as all hell.
It's like,
wow, I just forgot about that.
There's some
Like,
really dark, like, oh god, this is a kids show stuff in those couple episodes. Like,
if Pong Krell got the, because Bane is the most evil guy ever, right? And he was number one pick.
Mhm.
But because we got books from his point of view, we dig him. I wonder if Bane had been introduced from the perspective of like the farmers that he murders, we probably wouldn't love as much. But Pong Krell, maybe if there was either a comic or a book from Pong Krell's perspective of how blind the clones
that's
are
right.
to what's coming, I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe might be
To be
good.
clear,
Don't try
he
to
sucks.
sweeten this up for me. It was a crap
I
deal.
like,
I got shot in the foot.
I really like Blind Fate's comment in the chat. He says you can pick Krell. He has 4 arms, so you can carry all your team's gear. There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wonder if he's
Slave.
I wonder if he's in any way related to Dex from
Is
Dex's
he not?
Diner. Obi-Wan.
God bless them.
He's the only one on this board, right, that uses 2 double-bladed lightsabers.
He's the only Jedi I think we've ever seen that uses 2
Only
double-bladed
being.
lightsabers,
So
which
you
is
get
That's a
4
solid
blades
one.
for the
totally
first man.
overkill. They were like,
Thanks, guys.
let's take Grievous and like kick it up a notch.
It was insane. So
You couldn't have put Cal Kestis's master on here. I mean, he was the he was the
the guy you fight
Lasat, the Lasat Jedi.
He
Why would
wasn't
he be
a
on here?
dark
He's a dark
He was a
side
good
user.
guy.
He's a good guy.
Oh, what the hell am I talking about?
I
then? Sorry
don't
about
know.
that.
I don't know.
There's the other guy you fight. in
You
Fallen
you
Order.
broke your mouse.
There you
What do
go.
you know? Come on.
Yeah. Hey.
All right.
So for every future draft, I will be putting the boards on Thursday or Friday in Slack. So audience, you know that if these guys complain about people not being on there, they had 3 days to look at it.
That's right. That is
With that being
correct.
said, Wes, go to the beginning. Let's go to the board again one last time. We're going to go through all of our teams. And then what we're going to do this time, I'll make up a little graphic. We'll put it on our Twitter account for a solid week, showing our teams. And then we want you guys to go to our Twitter at Living Force Pod, vote who had the best team. Leave it up for a week. We'll reveal it next week on the show. But Wes, remind the people of your team starting from the top.
Number 1 overall pick, Darth Bane. My number 2 was Darth Tenebrous, then Darth Scion, Darth Tyrannus, aka Count Dooku, Darth Nihilus, and then Pong Krell.
Why'd you say that last one so
You know what?
Corey? Darth Nihilus,
solid.
yeah, good one.
Still
All right.
solid.
All right. I have Darth Revan, Darth Malik, Darth Cadus, Supreme Leader Snoke, and the Nth Inquisitor.
The fifth brother.
Or the
Savage
Nth,
Press,
brother.
you
the
forgot
Nth
Savage
Inquisitor.
Press.
Oh, and Savage Press. Yeah.
Nth Inquisitor.
All right.
Oh, I love
Charles?
that.
I hate the
My
Inquisitors.
squad is Darth Vader, Darth Plagueis, Darth Caldoth, Mother Talzin, the second sister, and the seventh sister.
Very solid. And mine is Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, Asajj Ventress, the Grand Inquisitor, Barriss Offee, and Kylo Ren.
Man,
How do we feel, guys? How do we feel?
I want to take a second. I want to say I am undefeated in the Living Force draft episodes, and I have to say it tonight because I have a feeling it's going to end.
Hold on.
1-0.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. Charles, who do you want out of mine for Mother Talzin?
Are you proposing a trade?
A trade? A post-draft?
now.
Not trade.
Does that happen?
There's no trade
Does
rule.
that happen?
There's
There's
no
I don't see the
trade rule.
rules.
Nobody
There's a
ever
no
said
trade
that.
rule.
Nobody
No
ever
trade
said
rule.
that. Nobody ever
saying
said that.
It's my idea.
They're not locked
I
in.
think we put up a pretty good
No.
argument for Pong Krell. I mean,
No.
remember we were talking about at
Would
the
you
end
be
there?
willing to part
No.
with Pong Krell?
All right. Honorable I gotta say in the chat here, Jared says honorable mention for Exar Kun. It only took 4,000 years and Corran Horn to defeat him. So very solid. I do want to say going forward, as we're getting to this end of this night's draft, if you enjoyed this, let us know what we're drafting next. We have a little while between roundtables coming up. It doesn't feel that way, Charles. I know we're doing Greater Good in 2 weeks. As a reminder, 2 weeks from now, Drawn Ascendancy Greater Good, the roundtable starts. But we got some episodes that'll be coming up. So are we drafting bounty hunters? Are we drafting pilots? Let us know. Are we drafting planets? I don't know. You ask it, we will do it. Again, remember to go on our Twitter account, vote for your favorite team. Guys, let's go around one at a time now. Give our last pitch for why they should vote for your squad. Wes, why are you the winner of this draft?
I feel I have the ultimate OP group. I have Darth Bane, who is the originator of the Rule of Two. I have Darth Scion, who is a cracked out metal band singer. And then we have the duelist Darth Tyrannus himself, and then the essence sucker of all of the Sith, Darth Nihilus. Don't forget about that Pong Krell.
All right. All right, and then your comma. Corey, why are you the winner of this draft?
Well, I mean, obviously, I have all the old school guys, other than Darth Bane, who's kind of a weak tit. I mean, he had to kill off everybody. He had to kill off everybody to be on the top. You know, what a douchebag. Where I have Darth Revan and Darth Malak, who literally went off into the unknown region to find the Sith, right? And like, not only did they fail to destroy the crazy emperor at the time, they just joined him and brought an entire army back and nearly destroyed the galaxy. I mean, that's pretty badass. Then you have Darth Caedus, right? The solo son to fall to the dark side and nearly destroy the New Republic. You have Snoke, who's responsible for nearly destroying the galaxy under the hand of the First Order. Then you have these other two assholes. So, you know...
All right.
Minions to do your bidding, if you will. But who am I kidding? I never win anything on this podcast. It is a pastime of the listeners of the show just to crap on me and anything that we do. So, why do I even try?
All right, that's fair. Charles, I'm not even gonna top that. Why are you the winner of this draft?
All right, I'm the winner of this draft because number one, I have Darth Vader. He's, the chosen one. No big deal. There's
but he was the only one around, right? I mean,
ever heard of him?
Yeah, he's got 6 movies about him pretty much. So that's, kind of a good way to start out. I have Plagueis, who all of you Legends readers out there, I know y'all love him. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even have Sidious, right? None of this would have happened without Plagueis. So that's a pretty big one. Darth Kaldoth. Right, he was kind of my dark horse pick, but he's a Duros. Who does not love a Duros? I know I do, and I'm expecting in the future maybe we're going to get more Kaldoth, and we're going to look back and realize it's an even stronger pick than we knew tonight.
Ooh, interesting. Future potential.
That's right. He's high on that. I don't know, top 100 prospects list. Mother Talzin. I have Mother Talzin, the only one on this entire board who uses magic, not just straight up, I don't know, dark side, force light. She doesn't use force lightning. She uses force smoke.
Force green smoke. Force toxic. Force mustard gas.
It looks like it would poison you. And then I've got 2 Inquisitor sisters, sister, Tia and Tamara of the Inquisitors, if you will.
Hell yeah.
I've got the second sister and the seventh sister. And I'm proud.
I love it. All right. We'll try to follow that with mine. If we get the board one final time, I'll pitch for mine. I got Darth Sidious starting me out, of course. Put the board on the screen. Stop texting, Corey. Give me the board. All right. There we go.
Damn. Roasted. Jesus.
So I start out with Darth Sidious. Again, the granddaddy of a lot of Sith. He perfected all that came before him and then trained the chosen one, Vader, more often. Huge. I got Maul. Again, one of the greatest arcs, I got to say, in all of Star Wars for my money. Acting performance is amazing. Same with Asajj and Barriss and Kylo, all people that have touched the light side and the dark side. So I got knowledge. I got knowledge about the light, and I got the power of the dark kind of working in tandem, and really great stories there. And the Grand Inquisitor, the guy who went toe-to-toe with Vader in the Inquisitor Project, who basically ushered in the Rebels crew into their whole thing, but was smart enough to know how powerful Vader was, so he's got that. I got people from all different eras, from all different power levels, and I feel really great about my crew. So that's where I am. I think we all got solid teams. I'm excited to hear what you all think in our chats, in our Discord, in our Twitter. Real quick, I'm just catching up on some of these comments here. Bounty Hunter draft seems very popular, so that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
We could also do a Canon Brooks draft, just like do books instead of characters, kind of things like that could be very fun. So, all right, everybody. Well, with that being said, that is going to do it for this draft night episode of The Living Force. If you already support us over on Patreon, thank you so much. I hope you're having a good time over there. A reminder, we have $10 left till you get our glorious Drunken Trivia Night event, so thank you all so much. A special thank you to Cheryl Bell, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander on our Jedi High Council, Elizabeth Cloutier, Jason Mitchell, Freddie C., and Sally and Chris Eilerson on our Alliance High Command for their amazing support of this show and all things Utini. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Eric Eilerson. Corey is at Doc Star Wars MD. Charles is at C. Henkel, and Wes is at Boss Wes. A special thank you to Matt Davenport, our amazing editor, Ryan, our graphic designer extraordinaire, and Wes, our producer and community manager. Thank you to Corey, Charles, and Wes for drafting with me tonight. Thanks to all of you in the chat for hanging out, and to all of you for listening. Please vote for my team this week. And as always, may the Force be with you.